So if we pick a couple of these, we talked about enabling a new channel. We talked about maintenance and anything where, if you look at municipalities today in public sector, they've also got maintenance facilities. You look at infrastructure, roads and highways. Again, all of this stuff is basically very ripe to bring in a mobility strategy around and build something that now basically replaces your hardcore special purpose app into more of a mainstream app that you can directly interact with back to your enterprise. Same theme around workflows and approvals and those kinds of things. Arraign, again, in public sector, obviously, approval process is very, needs to be very transparent, needs to be critical in terms of timing. So enabling these and making these available via the mobile devices, again, brings a lot of value in terms of managing these. The other areas, again, if you look back at the consumer, ability to report incidents, right? Incident management and reacting. Public security is another area where today we have seen, across the globe. In the UK, for example, they have now started using effectively similar applications on iPads and things like that to report incidents and to manage incidents. The flip side of it is I can allow a citizen now to directly use a mobile app that they download from their Apple Store to, again, report incidents that go directly into the central system. You're no longer relying on a particular person picking up the phone to capture your incident. You're sort of bypassing and allowing a new channel to capture this information. We talked a little bit about retail with Nick, and again, here it's all around reaching the consumer and what are the different ways to reaching the consumer and reacting to what the consumer has to offer, as well as enabling the sales force within a store to, again, better service you within that retail environment. So you don't really have to go to a particular checkout to do the checkout. You can actually do checkouts using mobile devices within the store, right? And then just improving customer loyalty. We had the Pampers example of where are we and making sure that you retain these customers. We've also had examples of basically based on where someone is in the store, they get a particular promotion, again, for a particular product based on that purchase history. So there's a lot of these kind of initiatives that are being built across the globe to leverage what is available on the mobile device. So again, social media is another interesting thing in the retail space that people are spending a lot of time on. How do you leverage things like Facebook and Twitter to basically enhance customer behavior and get the kind of interest out of these customers and get the loyalty out of them. So, and those are things that, again, today are available on your mobile devices. Checking, again, as I said, within the store, enabling just your basic store guy to go around with a mobile device to capture and be able to transact. Again, these are the kinds of things that we're seeing elsewhere as well. We've talked about coupons and being able to get coupons and personalized coupons as we go through this process. Last, I think, but not least, is, again, transportation and logistics. This one today, again, we've seen this traditionally being very mobile. If we look at the DHL vans today, if we look at the logistics company, they've made a lot of headway again with mobility and with being able to transact and relay information from a mobile device. But again, these tend to be special purpose, right? So now we're going from this notion of a special purpose device to one that you can, someone carries anyways because that's their phone or that's their iPad or their iPhone, and being able to leverage these applications on these kind of devices, right? So we're seeing a lot of that movement from that space into a more generic device, as I said. And in terms of what you see, again, it's all around maintenance. It's all around the ability to track, where are you, and the ability to deliver, right? So a lot of what people want to do today is make sure that they deliver the goods, but again, do it in a way that automatically gets updated, and it becomes critical when it interacts directly with the back-end system from an inventory perspective, from a logistics perspective, all the way back into the supply chain. Vehicles, vehicle maintenance, fleet maintenance, again, these are the kinds of things from an enterprise asset management perspective that we are seeing a lot of need out there to be able to process. Scheduling and dispatch, again, on mobile devices are things that, again, we are seeing out there in the industry. Right. Inspections, again, becomes a key area, and then being able to react to approvals and workflows and those kinds of things. Incident reporting are, again, common themes that we see across a lot of these industries, and that's what we are trying to focus on in terms of educating and making the market sort of aware of some of these different initiatives. So if I had to sort of summarize all of this at the end of the day, we see a number of themes sort of showing up. We see it from a mobile workforce perspective. So if you're in an industry where you've got a bunch of people that are out there doing something and transacting, and they're doing it either on paper or they're doing it in, using special purpose devices today, then there are opportunities there to sort of take that to the next level in terms of what are the new areas that we can do with enterprise mobility. So this would be workforce scheduling, this would be enterprise asset management, whether it's in utilities, whether it's in oil and gas, whether it's in infrastructure maintenance. That is basically a very powerful and ongoing theme. We also see it in the knowledge workers. We talked about knowledge workers before, and that again would be around workflow, would be around information, access to information so that you're able to make decisions, whether it's business analytics or whether it's just documents, whether it's a doctor trying to basically see the vital signs of his patient. So that again is another area. And then effectively the third area is the basic apps that we see just in terms of getting information and accessing information and doing workflows and improving basic performance around productivity from that aspect of it, right? So, as you sit and you assess and you try to figure out what to do next, maybe as part of the panel discussion, we'll talk a little bit about, how do you make these baby steps, right? You don't want to do the big thing at one time. You really want to take this in a piecemeal manner, find an area where this would be very beneficial to your organization, and from there take it and maybe build something, and then build from there to the next aspect. My colleague Raheel will talk about BI apps on mobile, and this tends to be a very good way to excite C-level executives as to what can be done today with the mobile apps. So that may be one way to start, and I think what we want to do is maybe, Raheel, you can get started. We'll have an opportunity also to show you some of the demos, some of the things that are possible in the space as we go through the session. Again, thank you very much.